Welcome to Out of Africa Torah Session. My name is Tatra Cohen, and this week we are on the Torah portion, Nasso, or Tek. This is coming from the book of Bemidbar, or the book of Numbers as it is known amongst men, from the 4th chapter to the 7th chapter. I find this Torah portion to be very interesting, carrying lots of information. But where we may want to begin from just the very beginning of this Torah portion, when we read the very first words, we are instructed, or Moshe rather is instructed to take a census of the clan of Gershon, or the Gershonites, so that they would enter service. And this census was for anyone who is between the age of 30 to the age of 50. A very interesting thing when you look, it's like you only have 20 years to serve, and how you should do, or what you should do with these 20 years determines whether you have failed your service of Hashem, or your service of the kingdom, or you have actually made it to serve as you have been called to do so. Well, the issue of census is a very interesting and yet a hot topic amongst believers today. Many of you can remember that later on, almost a similar census was done, commissioned by King David himself, who asked that his commander number the soldiers, number the people who were part of the army, so that he would know. Of course, he just didn't want to know. He wanted to know in order to calculate whether he would win the next battle he was just about to go into. And we are told by the text that this did not please heavens. No wonder immediately this was followed by a plague which claimed thousands of lives from among the people of Israel, those who were part of this army King David was commanding. Well, when we look at this Torah portion, so we see almost a similar census being taken here. But there comes a huge difference. The motive for that census in the book of Chronicles, which King David actually commissioned, and this one, the motives are very different. For this particular one, we seem to understand and therefore conclude that the motive was to help the community, and also to help this particular group of people to understand that they too have a role, they too have a plan, they too are important in the house of Israel. Well, that is very interesting, I think. Another thing also to note is that they were given actually a window period to serve. When you look at this, how this census was done, you could only enter the service when you were 30, and you were supposed to leave the service when you were 50. And that alone reminds you and I that time is of essence. Hashem wants us to serve, but He determines when we should serve. He also determines when our services are no longer needed. Well, in as much as this may sound a little bit harsh, it is actually what transpired. These people had time to serve and time to leave the service. And that is my message to you today. In as much as your service is very important, I've observed so many people, especially among the believers, the reason why some, seem to grow lukewarm, their hearts seem to be discouraged. They sometimes do not see their service being appreciated, or sometimes they just do not know what they are called to do, if at all they are called. Well, many are called, but few are chosen. But amongst those whom Hashem has chosen, there is a particular service which one should actually do. And Hashem determines when you should do and when you should stop this service. So this is my message to you, a very simple message. That first census, or that second census which was done from Chronicles, commissioned by King David, well, the motive wasn't very good. The motive seemed to undermine what Hashem could do with few numbers within the people of Israel. But for this particular census in Parashat Nasso, it is actually there to help us, to help the people, especially this particular family of Gershon, so that they would know that they are needed. Not only needed, their service was crucial for the rest of the people of Israel. And this is my message to you. There is time to serve. It's not you and me who determine. It's only heavens who determine this time to serve and also time to be decommissioned. Heaven commissions you for something. It also decommissions you for that very particular task. Not only that, this was done in order to encourage the people. So be encouraged. You are called because God has something for you to do. And when you do it in such a way that you know you only have a window period from 30 to 50. And therefore you should be retired. Hashem bless you. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.